Hey, family. It's me, your girl, Copper Color Creations. I'm back, family. How is everybody doing out there? Oh, goodness gracious. It has only been 2 months, family. I am so excited to be able to slide back into these YouTube streets. Shout out to everybody out there who is raising their frequency. Okay? Shout out to my ancestors, my spirit guides, archangels, everybody, all my 4,000 ancestors that are helping me. Yes, family. It just seems to me like it has not been that long, but whew, a lot has happened. Um, First of all, the name of this video is Who Are My Ancestors? Part 6, family. The Moors versus the Moors. Okay, I have been wanting to do this video for so long. We're finally here. Okay, I have been occupied um, building my empire, family. Yes, I have a lot of notes. I have so many notes that I put in one of my phones, and if I don't get to all of them on this video, I will cover them on the next video. Yes, where do I want to begin? Is so much going on out there. Wow, family. Yes, I like everyone else, I'm no different than anyone else. Many of us, we are in the battlefield with Lucifer's children and grandchildren. I have been in the battlefield, family, against Lucifer's kids and his sons and stuff. And so just slaying demons left to right. That's basically what we're cleaning up over here. I have my projects that are going to be launching. Um, I have 3 books. Family, I have been in straight, first of all, let me just say this. So, every year I have my family members, my baby cousin and her kids. She drops her kids and her dogs off, and they stay with me for the summer. And so I'm like, I've been busy with the kids, and they got me swimming almost every day. And I am just enjoying. I love me some children. I love being around kids. I attract kids and animals. So I have been enjoying myself at the same time. Um, making sure I'm protecting my energy, staying in solitude. I have 3 books that I'm writing. I have 2 major projects that I'm about to release. I am so excited. How many times am I going to say excited, family? Okay, so for those that have been following me know I had I was talking about a workshop, um, my Who Are My Ancestors workshop, genealogy workshop. And so I decided to put it on the shelf, and then my ancestors said, "Girl, you crazy, you better pull that off." And so I decided to do something a little different. I got some surprises. I'm going to be launching the website. I'm going to do a soft launch for my book and the website, but I'm not going to do the official launch. I'm going to launch that on my grandmother Marie Harris's birthday. That is going to be 9/16, September 16th. So I'm going to do a launch party. I'm going to do a big, hey, hype me up. I know I can be what I want to be. I've been on my affirmations, family. And like I said, just know a delay is not a deny, family. I have been delayed. My projects have been delayed. But let me tell you something. There is no such thing as coincidences. Things happen for a reason. Okay? All right, before I get started into this video, I'm going to try to make it, I'm not going to make it long. I'm going to try to make it as short as possible and, cover some things that's been on my mind. And so, like I said, I have been working on my workshop, my book, a workbook for you guys. Because like I said, we've been lied to, and I'm no longer living in that lie. I want to break that generational curse for my kids and my ancestors. So I decided to find out who I was, where I come from, so I know where I'm going. Okay, family. So now you guys understand what I mean when I say that. It's very, very important to know who you are, because a lot of people don't know who they are, but they definitely are going places that they are not happy about. Okay? All right. So before I get started, I wanna let's talk about some things. You know, I decided that, people always ask me what keeps me going. Well, I decided that I'm going to put all the energy that I've been giving others, and I'm going to pour it into myself and be selfish and give myself some self love and some self care that my heart and soul desires. Because I can't show up for anyone if I'm not 100% and I'm taking care of myself. So that's what I've been doing. A lot of self-love, self-care. My house is filled with a bunch of animals and kids. But I am happy. Um, I'm doing what I love doing, and that's all that matters. Um, I actually turned my pain into projects, purpose, passion, and power. Okay? And I always tell people, if you can master your own frequency of self love and care, then guess what? You will attract, hey, a mate, a relationship, a business partner that will reflect that same energy of love, a love that will be appreciated. So over here, we don't chase, we attract. And I am just, I want people to understand that okay, let's start with going over. I want to go over a definition, family. That's important that I think people need to understand. I was meditating on the meaning, because a lot of people don't understand that we create our reality. Okay, so what you tune into, whatever frequency you tune into, whatever television you're watching, whatever radio station you're listening to, that affects your future. And I say this because no one really teaches us the true meanings of these words. In school, I don't remember a lot of things that was taught to me, because I didn't learn anything in school. I didn't learn anything until I started going within and learning thyself. Okay? And so I just want everyone to understand, when I talk about manifesting and speaking words coming to life and speaking things into existence, and being careful what you take in, like watching television. I've also explained to people that the television is there for a reason. It's patented, okay? And so you can watch it and create a reality of someone else's, or you could turn the TV off in my Kendrick Lamar voice. Turn the TV off, turn the TV off. Family, you could turn the TV off because the television is only there to tell lies to your vision. Okay, so I would rather want to create my own reality. I am fed up with creating someone else's reality. Okay, so let's look at what the meaning of future is. Number one, the time or a period of time following the moment of speaking or writing. Time regarded as still to come. Family, let me read this again so you truly understand what is being said here. The time or a period of time following the moment of speaking or writing, time regarded as still to come. Quote, we plan on getting married in the near future. So basically, the meaning of future, now you understand why journaling and speaking things into existence, that's the definition of future. So when you speak words, they come to life. And depending on what intention you have when you speak those words is very, very important with manifestation, family. So I just wanted to point that out, that you're speaking your future every day you wake up. That's why it's very important to either speak life or speak death. I would rather speak life, okay? So it's very, very important for us to tap into that. All right? Now, let's go over, like I said, I've had some projects that have been going on for quite some time, and I reached out to, I had traveled to California, and I attended a workshop. I had the honor of being around a couple doctors that I had reached out to. I connected with all of the doctors. Some of them actually was open to me interviewing them for my genealogy website, and some of them agreed but never reached out to me, which is okay because I understand how busy they are. And one doctor in particular has passed away, and his name was Dr. Baxter Montgomery. And I am just so upset because I was about to chew that brother out. Rest his soul. I met him, and when we first started talking, he started to tell, we went back on where we come from, and he, stated that civilization started in Africa, and I told him he was totally wrong, and I gave him my bullet points, and he was so interested in having further discussions, and we were going to connect for that interview. And so, I have been going through some things. Like I said, I've been in the battlefield, family, fighting Lucifer's grandchildren and his children. And I haven't been able, because the divine creator has gave me a table. I am not eating out of a plate, family. I have a whole table. Okay? And so I have been delayed on some things, and I had some other things going on. So I had to push the interview back, but it's okay. It's all good. He is not gone forever. He has just changed his frequency. Okay, so like I said, death is not the end. That brother, he did a good job here. But I sure wanted to I wanted to talk to him about his thoughts and what he believed in. So it was just interesting. And so I am now starting over, and you know, I guess I got to start over with my roster. I like I said, I have rebranded my Who Are My Ancestors project. I didn't think it was going to be as big as it is going to be. Yes, it is going to be major. I am just now setting up the social media for it. So if you are on Instagram, you can follow me. It's called Who Are My Ancestors? And the website will be up shortly. I've been doing a lot of building the outline. Like I said, it's going to be major because it's so important. I interviewed, I've been going hard with genealogy for 5 years, family. And I just used to go out, and as I, doing my shopping or doing my daily, I would walk up and ask a person of color who they were and where they came from. And I just got the most horrifying answers from people. And I said, that's what motivated, that really motivated me to want to help others. I always wanted to know who I was and where I come from personally. But once I found out, I was like, I must help other people. Okay? And so that's what I'm doing. The whole point of me asking others to help me with this project is because it's bigger than what I thought it was going to be. And I do plan on partnering with a couple associations with this project, because how many people out there, how many so-called African Americans out there know who they are, know where they come from, and is willing and able to help others find land patents and connect to ancestral land, which is very, very important. Okay? It's very important to connect to your ancestral lands. Okay? Is so important. And, no one has educated us on who we are, where we come from, and that is for a reason. And we're going to go over that. That's the reason for this video, family. Yes. So I hope everyone has been vibing high, drinking their water, eating healthy. I mean, I just know that in this season, if you are not tapping into your self-love and self-care journey, there are so many herbalists and holistic doctors out there online educating you to eat healthy. You know, there's so many people, but family, what I want to tell you is be very, very careful, okay? When it comes to all these herbalists and these holistic doctors, because what I'm seeing a lot of fakes, family, point blank, period. Many of these so-called holistic doctors, they don't teach the most important things that you need as a tool to survive holistically on this earth. Okay, eating healthy foods is cool, but I have not, there's maybe one or two, okay? But I have not witnessed my people, any so-called Afro-American doctors, holistic doctors, teach two of the most, three of the most holistic medicines that you could ever teach. And that's number one is breath work. As a holistic doctor, I think that's so important. Okay. And what I've been researching is that breath work is connected to growing healthy stem cells. Stem cells? What? I am, I'm taking a class for breath work. I mean, seriously, I want to teach breath work now. Do you know how serious that is? That's the link. And that's the new study that the news is not going to report, that breath work is tied to healthy stem cells and growing more stem cells for your body. I don't hear anybody talking about that. I mean, at least not any doctors. Okay? So that's so important. Breath work. And I'm going to do a video on that because that's what I'm going to be going to school, taking my certification. Breath work. That's the last certification. Okay? And so another thing I don't see doctors talking about is sunbathing. The sun is a nutrient. And so if I was a holistic doctor, that's something I would be preaching every day. Sunbathing. Okay? And making sure people are educated. The reason why I say this is because I've witnessed so many melanated people talk about putting sunscreen on their body, not knowing their melanin is a conductor to the sun. It transmutes the energy. So that's so important. I sunbathe. I can sunbathe all day. Okay? And that's something that I need people to understand. You know, back in the day, hospitals had sunbathing beds on the top of their roof for healing. And so what happened to all that now? Now we don't need our sons, because we do have more than one sun that we live off of, family. We have our black sun. We have our rainbow sun. We got our crystalline sun. Like, really? We have suns that we live and survive off of. And our ancestors survived off these same exact suns without suntan lotion. Okay? Now, if I'm going to be a doctor, that's going to be the second topic. The third topic, you know, is grounding. Barefooted, body, all. Sometimes I get in my bathing suit and I just lay in the grass and meditate and ground every day. That's important. Connecting all your chakras, all your energy fields, all your nervous branches into the ground, because we are nature, okay? And getting a charge from Mother Earth, getting those spiritual downloads, getting that good energy. Ooh, that good energy, you know, where you just vibe. And the vibe don't lie. Family, I'm just saying. So, you know, I think it's very important that we, you know, tap in. All right? All right now. So enough of me rambling. Like I said, if I forgot anything, I'm going to come back on the next video. I am putting, I'm learning to balance things that are on my table out so I can be in these YouTube streets checking in. And like I said, I am on another platform. I have opened another channel, because I believe that many of my channels are shadow banned, and it's all good. It's all good. We're just gonna dust ourselves off, you know, pick ourselves up and try again. We're never gonna give up, no matter what. All right, so I'm not gonna spend too much time because I believe I covered this, but it's okay because I want to make sure everyone understands. Let's go. Who are my ancestors? The Moors versus the Moors, Africans and Native Americans. So, in my genealogy, a lot of my ancestors left breadcrumbs for me, and one of them wrote a book. I'm going to be presenting a lot of my genealogy for the first time. Oh, excuse me. One of them wrote a book describing that this was my Irish ancestor, describing that the African immigrants came over to America to help fight the war. And my ancestor was teaching the African man how to be civilized and taught him a lot of the things, okay? Now, first of all, before I get started, I want to make this very clear. I have very dear African friends. I have a very dear Jamaican friends. I have some Caucasian friends, and I have some very special Vietnamese friends. I have a couple Korean buddies and Chinese friends. So I'm very diversified. There is not any judgmental about skin complexity over here on this channel. This is a judge-free zone. I judge no one unless I'm calling judgment on you. And I can explain that and the reasons why. Okay? So let's get started. So with that being said, my African buddies, we're going to talk about, look at my ancestor. But sorry, family. Africans and Native Americans, the language of race and evolution of red black peoples. If you have not purchased this book, please go read this book. It's very, very enlightening. Okay. All right. And I want to click on, I got some visuals because visuals, excuse me, family, they help. They really do. So let's go over this. Honor your ancestors. We got America, we got Africa, we got Asia, we got New Zealand, we got India, we have Australia, South Pacific, Russia, United Kingdom, aka England, Central and South America, Egypt, Middle East, North Africa, and Europe. So for those that don't know, ancient Egypt is in America, okay? What they did was they copied everything and made a fake Egypt in Africa, okay? Over there. The modern day Egypt is not the same as ancient Egypt, okay? For those that don't know. Now, the reason why I have this up is I want everyone to understand who we are. Now, black is a color of a crayon, all right? Let's say I'm at the mall and the police pull me over and they say a black girl was stealing out of the Gucci store, which I would never do that. But this is just an example. So let's hypothetically say I am getting pulled over because someone said a black girl was stealing out of the Gucci store. Well, let's ask this question. Was she America black? Negro Indian? Was she African from Africa? Was she Asia? Was she Asian from Asia? Was she from New Zealand? Wait a minute. Was she from Europe or Russia or Australia? Because black comes in many different races, okay? And so this is where people are misconstrued. And I have my Caucasian and my I don't know, my Native American, my $5 Indians. They come in my comments and they always say, well, you guys claim you were the Vikings. Well, you guys claim you were this and you were that. In all actuality, if you're looking at this computer screen right here, now you can understand how we were everything, as in black, okay? Meaning Benjamin Franklin, and I'm going to add him in my genealogy, ebook, workbook, workshop, everything. He quoted in 1775 that everyone all over the world was swarthy. Okay, melanated, for those that don't know. So if you look at, I want you to look at this picture, meditate on it. Okay, now that we've got that out the way, I want you guys to understand, when you hear other nations came against one race of people, these are the other nations that we're speaking of, family. They looked like you. Their skin color looked like you. They didn't look like you, quote, but their skin color looked like you. So the people that came against us, my bloodline, was the same skin color. Okay? So that's very important for us to educate our children, let them know. This is what the whole world looked like before we got hijacked, okay? All right, now, with that being said, everyone came against us. Every race came against the Americans. This is why nobody wants us to know who we are, okay? Now, let's go to another visual. The Moors versus the Muurs, a hidden history. The Moors, originating Northwest Africa, Mauritania, Morocco, Andalusia, Berbers and Moorish conquerors entered Europe around 711 AD. They are not from America, okay? Excuse me. Moors from Africa arrived in the Americas with enslaved Caucasians and overthrew or colonized the Moors, the indigenous American empire. So the Moors, which is Mours, the original copper-colored indigenous inhabitants of Turtle Island, the America so-called Indians, not immigrants but natives, established civilizations long before African or European contact. All Moors ain't Moors, and all Moors ain't Moors. So, like I told you, family, the pyramids, okay, okay, and the Sphinx predates Egypt. All right. I believe it's an Atlantean structure, and our ancestors, the Atlanteans, I believe they built that, because the Egyptians didn't build the pyramids, because the pyramids were here before the Egyptians. So make it make sense, family. But what I want to present to you guys, I want to present some visuals. Let's go. So I want you guys to meditate on this visual. Excuse me, family, 1 second. Okay. All right, so let's meditate on this visual right here. So we got the so-called African Americans at the top, and we have the Africans at the bottom. We're not the same people. We don't have the same ancestors. The African man cannot grow a beard, or for a reason, okay? A lot of them can't grow beards or mustaches, All right. On the other hand, the African American can grow a afro, a beard, and a mustache, because you know you will know your people. All right. Now, the I hate to say this, but they got many of us honoring and calling our ancestors African. In all actuality, the African is our enemy. Okay? That is why they are trying to cosplay us and act like us, and hijack our culture and our knowledge and everything else. Yes, family. Our ancestors were they were at war with all these nations, including the African man. Okay, and so Africa knows, and the descendants of Africa. I mean, this is where the how can I say this? The hate and jealousy comes from. The Africans did not just wake up overnight and say, I don't like the African Americans, family. No, this stems from years, thousands and thousands of years of our ancestors and their ancestors going to war over land, riches, power, okay, etc., etc. So, everyone is against us, but mainly the African descendant. They don't think many of us know. And many of us don't know. Many of us are still saying, my ancestors are African and I am from Africa. In all actuality, the Africans don't like you. Their ancestors don't like your ancestors. Their ancestors don't like your ancestors. Okay? I have teamed up with many of them. And like I said, I dated an African man when I was 18. And I was, that let me know my ancestors weren't African. The way him and his family talked about African Americans. I knew then, I'm like, wait a minute. So I already knew, how they felt. Did that stop me from befriending them and giving them love and showing them kindness and compassion? No. Like I said, I have an African friend who has helped me tremendously. I have many other races as friends that's helped me. My job is not to judge a book by its cover. My job is to break generational curses, get my ancestral land back, okay? Stand on business when it comes to my bloodline. Now, in the midst of that, am I going to trigger other races? Am I going to hurt people, break some hearts? Okay. I might. That's something that might happen. But, over here, it is truth over tradition. Okay, family? And I just honor my ancestors. I do. I honor my ancestors because my ancestors, in particular, were great. Okay? One in particular, Dr. Daniel Hill Williams, was the first African American cardiologist. Dr. Williams opened the nation's first black owned interracial hospital, was the first person to successfully perform open heart surgery, and co founded the National Medical Association. Now, if my ancestor is looking down on me, would he want me judging people by their skin color? No, I don't think so. No. So that's not what we are promoting here on this page. What we're promoting is we just want to find out who we are, where we come from, so we know where we're going. We're breaking these generational curses. We're repairing and reclaiming my family's bloodline. Let's go to some visuals. Why is the oldest black community in the USA named after an Indian? Pocahontas, my auntie. Why, family? What is being hidden on the U.S. soil that they don't want us to know who we are, where we go, where we come from, so we know where we going? Because it's a lot of people being deported right now. Okay? So yes, is getting your family tree together, building your genealogy workbook, is that going to be important when they start releasing these land patents and you don't know who your ancestors are? So how you going to claim a land patent? Wow. See, that's important, family. It's very important. And so my workbook will be free to the public. I am going to make sure everyone has a workbook so they can start documenting their genealogy and researching their true ancestors. Okay? All right. This visual says Indian land for sale. Get a home of your own. Easy payments, perfect title, possession in 30 days. Fine lands in the West. Look at this. So this is how they were able to take our ancestral lands after slaughtering our ancestors and then reselling the land, family. And so it's so important for you to tap in and find out who your ancestors are so you can claim their land patents. You never know who's on your ancestors' land patent. Okay, so that is the focus on this video. I just wanted everyone to understand the difference between an African and an African American. All right? Yeah, they lied to us. They called us African Americans. We are not African, okay? But we are American, all right? Indigenous to this land, all right? And so a lot of us don't know our ancestors' genealogy contains Black, Irish, and Native American, the real American Indian. I'm not going to call it Native American, but what I want everyone, I think I covered it on a previous video, but I am going to do my Irish ancestral, who are my ancestors video. I am going to release the last names that was in my genealogy. And so if you have a last name that's included, then your ancestors are not African. They are definitely Irish. And 1/4 American Indian. And so all skin folk ain't kinfolk. I think we're learning that, family. So when someone say black folk, well, are they talking about black folk, America black folk, Africa black folk? And start asking these questions. We are not going to be called black anymore because who you don't know who they're talking about, family. They could be talking about somebody from Australia or Russia. Okay? So before I end this video, I do want to go over something that has been bothering me. And it's a topic that is just talked about and no one is doing anything about it. Excuse me. And I want to talk about the sundown towns that are all over the world. Family, research sundown towns. Do your due diligent research on where they are located. I am going to cover them on another video, family. We are going to put an end to the sundown towns.